All right, tomorrow we are taking a test, so we're going to review today. So it's very important that you follow along with the video while completing the form. So the way the video is going to work is I'm going to set up the problems for you, and you're going to continue by solving them. And then tonight, I want you to review the video and study so that you are ready for tomorrow's test. And I did put your reference materials here. This will be provided for you on your test, but just remember that we kind of changed some of the formulas. So for example, if you're asked to find the circumference, the distance around a circle, you're going to use the formula 2 times pi times the radius, or pi times diameter. And remember that pi is 3.14. And remember that circumference, this means around. So if you see that word circumference, they're asking around the circle. Then for your triangle formula, the area of a triangle, you're going to multiply your base and your height and then divide by 2. For your rectangles, you just multiply your base and your height. So the triangle is the same as the rectangle, except because a triangle is half of a rectangle, you have to divide by 2. That's what that half is for. And then for the circle area, we did say pi times the radius squared is the same thing as pi times the radius again. And just remember, in class, we were substituting pi 3.14. We were simplifying with 3, and that was getting us answers close to the answer. So you can use that strategy on your test tomorrow. All right, let's go ahead and continue. Let's move on. All right, so this one says a group of students stood in a circle to play a game. The circle had a diameter of 12 meters. So what I'm going to do right away is I'm going to draw my circle. And it says that it has a diameter of 12 meters. So make sure you draw your circle, give it the diameter of 12, and it wants to know what is the closest to the circumference of the circle in meters. So I'm going to go back to my reference materials and find the formula for circumference given the diameter. Given the diameter, and I'm trying to find the circumference. So the circumference formula is this one right here, pi times diameter. I could use this one, but I'm going to use this one since they gave me the diameter. And I'm going to do this 2 ways. So first I'm just going to write the formula, pi times diameter. So pi, we said, was 3.14 times the diameter, which is 12. So I can multiply that to get the answer, 3.14 times 12. Or another way that we were doing it in class was we estimated, instead of doing 3.14, we just changed it to 3, and we did 3 times 12. So we rounded our pi to 3. And if I round my pi to 3 instead of 3.14, I get 36. So it's going to be a little bit less because I rounded it down to 3. But the answer that looks like it's closest would be the 37. And if I actually work out 3.14 times 12, I get 37.68, which is the correct answer. So it's up to you if you want to round it down to 3 or you want to do it as 3.14. I prefer to round because it's easier. All right, so I did that one for you. Let's continue. Number 2, it says a model of a rectangular stovetop with 4 circular burners is shown. The side lengths of the stovetop and the diameters of the burners are labeled. Which measurement is the best estimate of the area in square inches of the stovetop that does not include the area of the burners. So really all they want to know is, what is all of this shaded part? So the way we're going to do this is we're going to do what we did last week, where we first found our rectangle area. So my rectangle is 30 times 35. So I'm going to find that area first. And then I'm going to find the area of my circles. My circles have a diameter of 8, but I need a radius. So radius is only half of 8. My radius would be this piece. 8 divided by 2 is 4. So that's my radius. And my formula for that one is pi. And this is from up here. Let me go back up so you can see where I'm getting it from. This formula, the area of a circle is pi times the radius again. Pi times the radius again. And my radius is 4. So pi times 4 times 4. And remember, I said you could take pi and replace it with 3. You can round down. If I round down, I get 48. So that's the area of one of the circles. So you're going to take the total area that you get here, so this entire area, and you're going to have to take 4 of these 48s out. So you're going to take your full area, 30 times 35, and then you're going to subtract out 4 of those 48s to get your final answer. You go ahead and try this next one. You're going to solve it the same way. All right, this next one, it's just like the first one. A circle has a diameter of 5.6 feet. So here's my circle. And it has a diameter of 5.6. And they want me to find the circumference. And they gave me the diameter. I'm going to use the same formula that I used up here. Circumference is equal to pi times the diameter. Pi is 3.14. If you want to round to 3, that's fine with me. And you're going to do that times your 5.6. And you can continue. All right, number 5. A drawing of a sailboat was made using a rectangle and 2 right triangles as shown. What is the area of the drawing of the sailboat in square centimeters? So I have 2 shapes here. I have this rectangle down here, and then I've got this one up, this triangle here. I don't want to cover my numbers. All right, so for my rectangle on the bottom, I see a 1 and a 5. So that's 1 times 5. 1 times 5 is 5. So that rectangle down there is worth 5. Now this one up here, I'm going to redraw this triangle because it's got a lot going on. So this triangle right here, I'm going to redraw this one over here. So it says that it has a height of 4. And then the bottom has a 1 and a 2. So all I'm going to do is add those together. So that means that my bottom is 3. My base is 3. So my triangle has a height of 4. And my base is 3. So now to find the formula, to find the area of a triangle, my reference materials tell me to go back up. The area of a triangle says base times height divided by 2. So base times height, my base is my height, 3 times 4. And then whatever I get, I'm going to divide by 2. That's going to be the number that goes in here. So now I have the area of this triangle and this rectangle. I can add them together to get my final answer. I want you to try number 6. Okay, number 7 says the head of a nail is circular as shown. The head of this nail has a diameter of 8 inches. Let me redraw the head of the nail. So I'm looking at the nail, and it says it has a diameter of 8. Which measurement is closest to the area of the head of this nail in square millimeters? So I know that I'm looking for the area, which is pi times the radius times the radius. And I need to know what the radius is. The radius is half. So if I divide that by 2, my radius is 4. So I'm going to rewrite it. Area is pi, which is 3.14 times 4 times 4. And again, if you want to round this down to 3, that's fine with me. 4 times 4 times 3, that'll work. And then you're just going to look for the closest answer. All right, this one says the model of a backboard of a basketball goal is composed of a rectangle and a semicircle. Which measurement is closest to the area of the model in the backboard in square inches? Okay, so this one down here, this rectangle here, is going to be the 12 times the 1.5. That's going to be that rectangle. And now I need to figure out, well, what is this semicircle up here? So how much is this piece here? So I'm going to take it and I'm going to find my radius first. So my radius is 6. And I know the formula for a circle is area is equal to pi times the radius squared, which is 2 radius. So 3.14 is pi. And again, if you want to round down to 3, that's fine with me. Times 6 times 6. And then because this is only half of a circle, whatever you get for your answer, you need to divide it by 2. And that's going to give you this piece. Once you have your 2 pieces, you can add them together to find the total, because you want to know how much is this entire piece, how much area is that. All right, next. Number 9 says a circular table has a radius, tablecloth has a radius of 1.5 feet. Let me draw that tablecloth. And it has a radius of 1.5 feet. And what do they want to know? Kayla is sewing a ribbon around the edge. So that is circumference. And the circumference formula is, let me go back up. Circumference is 2 times pi times the radius. And now I just have to work it out. 2 times pi times the radius. And again, if you want to round that down to 3, that's fine with me. Don't round the 1.5 though. All right, next. Number 10. The circumference of a circle is c centimeters. The diameter of the circle is 23 centimeters. Which expression best represents the value of pi? So let's see, I'm looking for the circumference, and I've got a circle that has a diameter of 23 centimeters. And remember that the formula for a circle with a circumference, or the circumference with given the diameter, circumference given the diameter is pi times the diameter. So I'm looking at pi times the diameter, and I know the diameter is 23. But they want to know which expression best represents the value of pi. So they're asking, well, what is pi? So I've got to get rid of the 23. And remember that this is pi times 23. So the opposite is divide by 23. So if I divide the circumference by 23, I should get pi. C divided by 23. And that looks like, oh, I need to fix that. That is going to be answer choice C. and I'll fix it on your form for you. All right, I want you to do number 11. And then number 12 and number 13 are just like yesterday, so y'all can do those on your own as well. Remember, tonight when you go home, you're going to rewatch this video and study before your test tomorrow.